Hello, my crafty friends. It's Marie from Marie's Vermont Creations, and this card my sister gave me for my birthday recently, and it inspired me to try to recreate it. So here are some dies from Stampin' Up. They're old and likely retired, and I took some backgrounds from my stash and cut those out. And then this 3D embossing folder I did on some white. Actually, I think I ended up grabbing a cream piece of cardstock by accident. So I'm just going to put some double-sided adhesive along the top, peel off the backing, and then I'm going to take that twine, which is again just from my stash. So this is everything is kind of a stash buster here, and I'm just going to go wrap it around and then cross it over and then put it on the back, trim off the excess, and then trap it down using some more double-sided adhesive so that it stays right where I have it. And so then I'm going to, like I said, trim that off and tape it down. And so I just thought this was a really cute design. Now the card is actually a much bigger one. I think it's a 5x7 card. I don't tend to make a lot of 5x7 cards, so this is a standard A2 size card panel that I am doing. This one's slightly smaller than the card base, but that's the size that I'm going with. And then I'm just going to take some liquid glue and go along the bodies of the butterflies. I was originally going to try to line it up over the twine like it was on the original card, but one, it would stick out way too far because this is a larger butterfly, and I didn't think it would lay properly. So I'm just going to offset these on this panel here using the glue, and I'm just, like I said, gluing the centers. And then I am going to take some, I believe the sparkle blend I am using is called Bubble Gum Blizzard, and that I'm going to put in this dish and take out some of the bigger sequins. And in the card design originally, they used flat back sequins to actually adhere down the twine, but I just sprinkled them throughout the panel because they match the backgrounds that I happen to select quite nicely. So that's why I went with this blend here. And I'm just gluing those down using the same Barely Arts liquid glue, arranging them, I think I put 3 up here in this upper right hand corner, and that one to the left, and then one at the bottom. And so I really love how this turned out. And then I was trying to find a sentiment in my stash that I had already stamped out to fit on here. I cut all of that part out because they were all just too big. So I ended up taking a stamp set from a Simon Says Stamp recent set, and unfortunately I don't know the name. I will link it down below or list it down below for you. So I'm going to adhere this to my panel, and then I will stamp the sentiment down on a scrap piece of this same cardstock that I used to emboss the background. And for my 3D embossing folders, I have a Platinum 6. And for me, what works, because I've had people ask, is the base platform, no plates, the 3D die with the paper in it, and 2 shims of cardstock. That's what I put through with these thicker embossing folders. For me, that's what works. So hopefully if you have the same machine, that will work with you. I know some people use metal shims instead of the cardstock, but I unfortunately don't own any for this particular machine. Or if I did in the past, I curled it and ended up getting rid of it, and I haven't replaced it yet. So I'm just putting the sentiment in my mini Misty, and I am going to stamp it down using Distress Oxide ink in peacock feathers because it matched, again, these papers that I was using. And then off screen I trimmed that down in my paper trimmer, and will adhere it down with just a strip of double-sided adhesive. I absolutely love how this turned out. You could do any color combination for the butterflies that you wanted. You could use pattern paper instead of the embossed background. So any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below. And as always, I hope that you have a great day.